AI prompting. That's a big topic these days because the way you communicate with AI tools is through texting them, speaking to them, really. So it's all about what type of prompts you are doing. Let's be honest, beyond prompting, we of course have AI delegation, we have AI validation and AI diligence, like ownership and transparency, working with AI, but prompting is really the core of it. So today we will focus on that. By the end of this video, you will know the 6 elements of a complete prompt, and equally you will know when to apply each of those elements, which are more mandatory and which are more optional and should be customized depending on the task you are doing with AI. So let's dive in, let's kick off straight away. And we will start by defining the framework very high level. The framework actually has a cool acronym, so it's way easier to remember that. So the acronym is COSTAR. And let me just whiz through the elements and then dive deeper into the definitions. So C stands for context, O stands for objective, S stands for style, T stands for tone, and no, that's not the same thing, it's slightly different. A stands for audience, and R stands for response format. Here we go. The 6 elements mentioned. Now let's dive deeper into what's the meaning behind those. So starting from the context. Well, imagine AI really is like a extremely skilled expert, very intelligent, that is shipped to you to do the task for you, but it doesn't know anything about its reality and what's happening around it. So you need to provide just a brief context, like who you are, what the history behind the task you would like AI to perform. It could be like, I'm an e-commerce manager, I'm working in a luxury watch e-commerce brand, and I'm prepping for an event in Switzerland when we'll meet with the other brands and I'm doing the presentation there. Boom, those are loads of details for AI to kind of understand what's the bigger picture. So that's C for context. O, it stands for objective, and this is where you provide a clear instruction to AI what it should do. This is where the verbs and activities should really appear within your prompt. So things like prepare presentation for the event, analyze the data from the report, connect 2 systems via script, prepare that script, etc. and so on. So here you are listing the actual activities AI should be doing, or listing the number of steps AI should follow. When it comes to outcome, indeed that could be more of an activity focus, or it could be outcome focused. So I expect you to prepare a analysis of my top 5 competitors, but you don't mention what competitors are, you don't mention where it should be checked. So you can kind of go into more of an agency mode using actual AI agent to figure it out themselves. But that's O for the objective. Then we have S for style. And think about that as a persona. What type of hat you would like AI to wear on? Is that like an analytical hat? Or is that like an e-commerce manager hat? Or maybe you would like AI to be an engineer for you today. Or maybe AI should act today as your client and you would like to have a discussion with your client based on some of the feedback you get from the different clients, but going a bit deeper based on that data. Whatever that is, that stands for the actual persona. So style, element. Then we have the next one, which is tone. When it comes to tone, think about that as in more like emotions. Do you want the AI output to be positive, neutral, objective, or maybe more negative for whatever reason? Maybe you want the AI outcome to have more urgency or be more relaxed in terms of the tone of voice. That is really like adjusting how AI will produce whatever the artifact is you are working on. Then we have A, which stands for audience. So if you are preparing an artifact, you are preparing, a activity that will be consumed by CEO or the board members team, that's totally different story compared to if you would be doing an artifact for a technical team or for mid-level management or for a wide audience of the people you don't really know, but you know they are unified in terms of the age group or interest group or something like that. So audience really helps AI to kind of narrow down type of work AI is doing for you. And then finally we have R, which stands for response format. And this one is really important. So you need to simply define what you expect to get. Not always you need to use it. Sometimes you can give a bit of a more freedom to AI. But if you want, let's say, AI to summarize a TV series or TV movie for you, and you want this to be super quick so that you have comparison with the other series you were watching, then mention, please provide me like 5 bullet points or 1 paragraph with 4 sentences about that TV series. And then you can ask more details as you understand the topic a bit better. This approach is, by the way, especially useful when doing any type of research. So giving that format examples or instructions like the length of the response, the format like bullet points versus open text, maybe that's a presentation you are looking for, maybe that's like the XML file you will use later on in the process, or that's a comparison table you can add it to your presentation. Whatever that is, make sure the format is mentioned. So here we go. Those are the 6 elements that we covered from COSTAR framework: context, objective, style, tone, audience, and then finally response format. Now, the extra element in this video is to mention which elements, in my opinion, are mandatory and which are optional. I would say that always try to use at least context and objective, so that AI knows what to do, the objective, but equally, what's the bigger, broader picture. And then response format is also very useful for me, so that AI doesn't go too crazy and burn loads of tokens for things that should be super simple, and vice versa, doesn't go too shallow when you expect more depth. So I would say those are 3 critical items, and the rest depends on the task you are doing in terms of the persona, so the style or tone. Things like that I think are very useful, but are not always the mandatory from my point of view. So here we go, we covered the 6 elements of prompting. I hope you found this video interesting. Let me know what type of prompting strategies you are using in the comments. I would really love to hear that. And if you enjoyed this video, those insights, please share this video with your friends, with your colleagues. Have a great day. Bye.